Hey guys, as you can see, I have some tea with me and I'm about to spill the tea. Ooh. Oh, it's good. Hey elegant fam, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yo, I've missed you guys. Yo, Shem, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Like, if you're new, and please join the family and subscribe. Yo, it's been long. And I don't know if you guys noticed, like there's a video that I posted like I think a month back or something, or 2 months back, that I posted thinking I'm coming back, to YouTube and everything's gonna be fine. German was like, yeah. I saw Nyela. And I'm kind of sick, I'm coughing, but I feel like today is the right day to like spill this tea. Yo guys, I almost went back to Zimshim. It's crazy. A lot happened. A lot has happened in the past months. And I wish to share all that with you. With the view that you guys are going to learn something. You guys are going to have a little bit more of information, that I didn't find. That I tried looking for from different places. And I didn't find it until I experienced all these bad things myself. So take this video seriously. It's gonna help you, or it's gonna help someone that you know. So guys, yeah, let's get right into it. But please subscribe and join the family. It's gonna be helpful to me in growing my channel, and don't hesitate to share the video with another person. Okay, so that's that on the intro and everything. So let me drink. Like I said, I have a cold, so I'm coughing, and I'm actually drinking peppermints on the Keltungstee. There's in Germany, there's peppermints in the Keltungstee. It kind of helps. So if you have a cold, look for it. You find it in any supermarket or even at DM. So yeah, just gonna try and summarize the whole story and try and make sure that I don't leave anything, because it's been like months. So those who follow my channel and who know me know that I was doing this zweijährige Altenpflegehilfe Ausbildung, right, for immigrants. Like if you come to Germany, and you have A2, you can do the Ausbildung, and it's not complicated to start it and all that. So if you want more information about that, you have to watch my other videos. Now we move. So guys, I wrote my exams I started my exams in May, June, July was the exam months. And then in July I finished everything. I passed, good marks, creme de la creme. Yeah, I got good marks and I passed. So this was the situation now. So I was working, like where I was working at a Altenheim, right? Like with the 2-year contract for my Ausbildung, I was supposed to I had even started like the Ausbildung a little bit later. So I was supposed to finish this praxis in September. In September, that's when I was supposed to finish. But normally, if you start in September, you have to finish in August. So I actually started in October. I was late for the Ausbildung. Okay. So, but then I had already gotten a job offer somewhere else. Yeah. And also I was in the process of assisting some people to come to Germany. So the job offer, like I was trying to look for places for these people, right? And then the lady was like, oh yeah, you're speaking okay German, not good but okay. So these people need if I'm gonna get them, they'll need your Unterstützung for you to like help them in in everything, like to explain things, when you're coming directly from Azim to Germany. It's a little bit difficult in the first days to understand the language, right? I need to drink. So I was like, okay, it's fine. I just wrote a kundigung to my other boss, and I'm like, you know what, I found a job, and I'm just gonna go there and start working. I got the contract and everything, right? And yeah, I left my job, the other one for the Ausbildung, without finishing, but my hours were okay. My hours were fine. That was it. I was done with them, right? And then that was end of July. Like I had a all for a week or two at the like to finish the month there. And then in August I was supposed to start at another place where I'd gotten this beautiful offer, right? And then they got a contract, everything. I had my termin on time. I had booked like the I'll send up a whole termin on time, and I went there. I applied for, I gave them my documents and everything. And then they're like, okay, if you don't have the Oakunde, you will not get the visa. So okay, I have to sneeze. So the Oakunde is like the certificate from the oh, okay, it's gonna be coming and going, but anyway. So the Oakunde is like the certificate, like you know when you write Zimtag and then you get the results, but you have to wait for the certificate. So it's like that. So the my Orkun, they changed the rules at the end. When we're done, they were like, you were supposed to get our results with the Orkun certificate at once, but then they're like, no, apparently there's a new law. You cannot get the Orkun until the contract that you had for your Ausbildung is finished. I don't know if this makes sense. Like my contract was supposed to finish in September, end of September, and I had already like said, no, I'm done in July. Right? I know some people think, oh, she's crazy, but anyway, I take my chances, I take my risks. So yeah. And then this Oracle, I didn't have it. At the school they told me I'm going to get it in October, right? Like beginning of October, end of September, beginning of October day. And then they gave me a letter that they said I should take to the Ausländerbehörde. It's gonna help me so that they can just allow me to work and all that, right? So I went to the Ausländerbehörde. I need a drink, sorry guys. So I then went to the I'd gone to the Ausländerbehörde. They said without the Urkunde I cannot work, but they said as soon as I get the Urkunde I have to, like the guy said, I should email it to him. So now that I just started this video, I'm getting worse, but let me try and push it to the end. So this guy was like, you just send it to me on email and then you process everything. I'm like, okay. So I paid for the overnight title, and they told me that, oh, you're gonna work, we're gonna give you 5 years and all that. I'm like, okay. And then now I was like, okay, yes, at least I can work. I was now worried, like when I went to the Ausländerbehörde already, I had seen some posts from people, you know, talking about, oh, do your research first before you do this Ausbildung, you might not work and all. But personally, I knew people who did the 2-year Ausbildung and they were working, right? So I had faith, but at the same time I was a little bit scared that what if they told me that in my situation I cannot work, you know, because every visa story is different. That's one thing that I've learned. Okay, so then with the guy, everything went well, everything was okay. And then I sent him, when I got the letter from school that says, yeah, you need to give her a Bescheinigung, like a letter, so that she can be working, right? So they were like, the guy was like, no, this doesn't really work. They like the Agentur für Arbeit who want the Urkunde for you to get the visa, like the work permit. I'm like, okay. So and then I was like, I called my other teacher. You know, it was gonna be stressful for me not to work for like all those months. Like, oh, that was end of July. That means August and September not to work without getting paid. Like, not to work, not getting money, just staying at home the whole time. And you need to pay rent, and you need to buy food, and you need to buy fakate. You need, you know, all these expenses, all these expenses will be just looking at you like, you need to pay me. And then there's also ZDF, you know, all those things. So I was worried. I got like depressed. I cried. I'm like, why are they doing this to me? They changed this rule now. Why? You know, it was a very, very stressful moment for me, because I was now seeing myself now working for the next coming 2 months. How am I gonna pay rent? How am I gonna do this? You know, all those things which is coming to my mind, right? So I don't know if that really made sense what I said, but if it didn't, please don't hesitate to like ask. I'm gonna try and explain it again. So this urkunde, this certificate was needed by the Agentur for Arbeit, which is the one that like gives the visa, right? The Ausländerbehörde is like a forefront. It's like a forefront, but the one that makes the decision is the Agentur for Arbeit. Okay, so I then called my other teacher, and I'm like, I was at the Ausbildung, and they told me that I cannot work until I get this urkunde. Please, can I get the urkunde early if it's possible? You know, I stretched out all my issues with her, that I need to pay rent and to buy food and to do this and that. And then she understood the whole situation, and she was like, you know what, there's a social worker that I know, I can give you his contact. He's gonna try and help you. I'm like, oh, he can help me. She's like, yeah, he can help you. So I got the email of the social worker. We talked, and then we met. And it's like, no, you know what? With your good results, there's not gonna be a problem. You're just going to they're just going to need maybe like it might take it 2 weeks until we convince them or something, but no, it's okay, don't worry, and all that. I'm like, okay. And then the man did everything. He wrote emails. He asked if they could give me a letter that I can work, and oh and oh and oh. And then after a week or so, and then he calls me and he says, I have good news and I have bad news. And I'm like, okay, let's start with the bad news. And then it's like, the bad news, they say that you're not allowed to work. I'm like, how? And then like, he's like, yeah, I talked to them. I talked even to the highest person. They're like, you're not allowed to work because you came to Germany with a visa. I'm like, huh? What do you mean it's because I come to Germany with a visa? They're like, the people that are only allowed to work after this Ausbildung are the people that came with Flüchtlinge. What do you call them? Like those people that were under the German system for a long time, that were being given money by the government and not working. Those ones are the ones that can work after the 2-year Ausbildung, so that they can earn for themselves better money and all that, and pay their tax. But you came with the visa, we expect more from you, so you are not allowed to work. You should continue learning, like do the dreijährige Ausbildung. I was like, no, this was my worst nightmare. I wasn't prepared, you know, I wasn't mentally prepared for it. I wasn't even thinking that was gonna happen, you know. And I remember I cried. I'm like, but no one told me this, you know. This information is not even anywhere where you can find it. Like, there is no clarity. I don't know. I don't know if you get what I mean. I don't want to get my feelings, but I was like, there is no clarity in this information. They don't tell us this when we're at school. They say you can work, you can do this, you know. But that you're not allowed to work because you came with the visa, I've never heard it before. He's like, yeah, that's the rule and all. And then I was like, you know what? Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, God. And then I was like, okay, what is the good news? And then it's like, the good news, you can do the dreijährige Ausbildung and further your studies, and then afterwards you can work. And then you also have this woman who had given you the job. She is also willing to offer you the Ausbildung plan. You know, at that moment, I feel like this is shitty. Like, why does someone else need to decide my future for me, you know, and all that? I had a lot of mixed feelings. I was hurt, I was sad, I was just thinking, you know, I was just thinking a lot at that same, when you receive like bad news in a flash, you you just think of a lot of things. That's where I was at that point. And I was sad, I cried, and I'm just like, there's nothing that we can do. The only thing we can do right now, there was a school close by to where I was staying. So I was like, the only thing that we can do right now, I can call the school and we register you very fast. And I'm like, I'm not, I don't know if you guys understand. I wasn't mentally prepared for that. And this person is just trying to make everything snap. And I was like, you know what, can I get time to think? And then he was like, yeah, sure, it's okay, you can get time to think, but make sure by end of the day you call me. I'm like, end of the day, this is my life, this is my decision, and end of the day, I'm like, okay, I'll see. Right? So afterwards, me being me, I started weighing my options. I'm like, okay, do I really want to stay here and do this, or do I decide that I can move and go to a place where I know a few people that did the Ausbildung and are working, move to that place, and then do it there, and then like apply for my visa there. So I did that. I moved to another place, to another city, where I thought, okay, since it worked for these people, it will work for me also. Okay, and I got a job, and the place where I got a job, they're like, oh yeah, don't worry, don't. I told them my story, like, wow, what? They told me I cannot work like this, like this. I told them everything. Then they're like, oh no, don't worry, we work close hand in hand with the Ausländer Amt. Don't worry, it's gonna work, no stress and all and all. And I was like, oh, okay, these people seem confident. Okay, so imagine I had to move. Let's talk about the risk that I was taking. Moving to another place, that cost me money to move, that cost me another deposit at the place that I was going, and that also cost me, like, moving from a place. When you move into Germany, you like, when it's the apartments, you need to give like 3 months Kündigungsfrist. Like, if you want to go out, if you want to move to another place, you should tell the person 3 months before. And I did it short notice, so that means I was supposed to pay rent, like, for the other place and for the new place, right? That was crazy. That was a very crazy decision. Like, looking back at it now, looking back at it in like 2 months back, I was like, oh, what was I doing? At some point I just was like, God, what? Just having all those questions, like, that was a very big risk, right? But looking to at where I am now, I'm very happy. So what happened was, I then moved to the place. I registered myself, like, anmelding for the Wohnung, and then I got an appointment. Now the thing was, I got an appointment late. The appointment that I had was for 24 October, and that means August I didn't work, September I didn't work, and then October, and that is when I had gotten my appointment, right? 23rd or 24th of October, the appointment. So and then I'm there just waiting for my appointment and everything and all. And then day before my appointment, I got a call. My boss, like my boss, the person that was going to be my boss at this new job that I got, and called me a day before my appointment and told me, oh, Praise, with bad news. I'm like, okay, not that you can't work again situation. They're like, unfortunately, they said you can't work because you have a visa. I'm like, I told you my story, guys. I told you my story, but you guys kept quiet. You got the whole time. Someone should have told me. And even if I wasn't gonna know what I was gonna do or something. But for me to be mentally prepared for whatever was gonna come my way, like I was still in the situation and processing, 2 months not working, not doing anything. You cannot even fly out to go and see your family because my my visa was already like expired in August. So I had, when I went for this appointment for the work permit, I got a, what is it called, a fixation special for 3 months. Like, it just carries on what's written in my visa. If you, let's say your visa is about to expire and you have to keep working or something, you just ask for a fixation special. It carries on what's written on that visa. It allows you to continue doing what you're doing. So I was so annoyed. I was so hurt. I cried. I don't know how many F words I said that day. Like, you know that do you guys know that your situation, I kunzima, the whole day I kept on saying and I cried because I cried. I called my mom, told the situation. I called my boyfriend, told him the situation and everything. And I was like, yeah, my village people, they hate me this time. Yeah. Guys, worst experience ever. That's why I'm sharing this. Guys. You need to do your research, right? Most of the times the right answers are not really there, but I'm telling you because I know this is something that can happen to anyone. So that's why I'm sharing this with you guys. And then they told me, oh, you cannot work. Oh, I cried. I couldn't help it. I cried on the phone. I hang up. And then they're like, but there are other options that we can give you and all that. And I'm like, what are the options? I like, the only option is for you to do the dry Ausbildung and all. And me being me at that time, I had my own plans. Child. I had registered myself to do my degree, really. Child, I was on another level. I had started with my degree. That's one thing that I wanted to do. I registered myself with my degree online, and I was like, you know what, if I'm not working and no longer have school, so I can manage this degree online. And the devil was like, science boy, you're lying. And guys, I was like at a happy, not really at a happy place, but I felt like, what, this way I can become who I want to be. I have my own plans, but then plan A didn't go as planned. So I was now doing my degree online and all. Then now they're telling me I have to do the 3-jaar Ausbildung, the 3-year nursing course, right? And how am I going to balance the 3-year nursing course and do a degree on the side and still go to work? No ways. That was going to be a lot, right? So I guess the crying, the emotions, I paid already to do this degree. I moved, I did all this because I was thinking I'm gonna work, I'm gonna make all this money, I'm gonna be able to balance my things again and all. A lot of dreams, a lot of things crashed at that moment. They told me that, like, now it was real because I had moved from a beautiful place that I had. Those of you have been there in Bruxelles, my small beautiful place, and I'd moved to a big day. I was sharing with other people and all, and I was like, if I knew I was gonna stay and all, but then I was like, you know what, God has a reason. At the end of the day, I tried my best to console myself and say, God has a reason for everything that happens in my life, And at that time, I really didn't have the strength to pray. I really couldn't find the words. That's how hurt I was. But then I play my music, my gospel music, and I was be like, God, these are my prayers to you. God, you know what you're doing. You cannot let me down. You know your plans, the plans that you have for me and all. And then the next day, the lady that he called me, then she said, you know what, before you go for our appointment tomorrow, come to us to the office, and then we discuss what other options we have. I'm like, okay. So everyone who has a Ausbildung visa, if you check that small green card, there's this green card that you have, it's written there that you're allowed to work 10 hours out of your normal working hours, like every week, 10 hours more a week, right? So that's why people do mini jobs and all that. So they're like, we're gonna give you this 10 hours a week to work, and then maybe start school next year, since it was already October, like 22 October, in schools it started in September and October, you know. So I had very slim chances of getting a school. And then I'm like, if I work 10 hours a week, will that money be enough for me to go to pay rent? Will that money be enough for me to buy food? That's like 450 euros, I guess, or something. And then that crushed me also, because now I'm stuck, you know. I don't know. And they're like, and then you can start school in April, you know. Yeah, I just crushed, you know. That was just a crushing moment for me. And I was like, okay, if you say so, then what can I do? What can I say? It's the day before my appointment. So I went for my appointment. They didn't have anything to say. I showed them everything. They're like, you know, I should this contract that you have right now for work is useless, because you're not allowed to work. So we're just gonna give you another fiction special, you know. And I was like, okay, they just gave me that fiction special. I went home. I was hopeless and helpless, and yeah, I just went home, you know. And then like there's this school that they're like, you know, we still have one more school to try, and maybe you'll have a chance. And then they called that school, and then they called me, and they told me that I got a place there, and I can start school on Monday. Imagine, I'm already 3 weeks behind. 3 weeks behind. And yeah, that's what happened. And then on Monday I started school, and 3 weeks behind, you know. But I kind of had this little knowledge from the 2 hours Ausbildung, so it kind of helped me that the vocabulary, the words that they were using, it wasn't really new to me, you know. And yeah, that was it. Tried catching up, and I'm still trying to catch up right now. But yeah. And later, after all that happened, you know, tried to make peace with myself, tried to make peace with the decisions I had made. And yeah, all thanks to God, I moved to another place, another apartment, and I am very happy where I am. And I'm always saying to God that, okay, everything this year has been a year of ups and downs, a lot of ups and downs. But guys, this video is just for me to share with you that you need to do your research. You need to know that yeah, this is my story. In fact, I don't know if it's gonna help anyone, but this is just my story. And there's more information that I want to share with you, like the what are the opportunities that you have after doing the 2 hours Ausbildung. I'm gonna share this in another video, in my next video, and then we got deep into what opportunities you have. Here I shared my difficulties, what I had to go through and everything, hoping that somebody is gonna learn one thing or know what they're getting into when you're doing the triadic Ausbildung and all that. Like I said, everyone's situation, everyone's story is different. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Guys, it's been long. I'm sure the video is very long now. Okay. I wish you a good week, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye.